Hi everyone, this is Lien and welcome back to the Rachelle Anne Miller YouTube channel. Today I'm creating this Christmas card using Santa Boy, an amazing digital stamp that was previously released somewhere way back when I wasn't on the design team yet, and I just loved it. I went through all of the digital stamps by Rachelle Anne Miller for all of my Christmas cards because these images are so adorable, and I used quite a lot of them. If you haven't seen it on this YouTube channel, then probably you will find them on my YouTube channel. There are just so many incredible images, and I didn't use them all yet because I'm sure of it that I will at one point create a card with every digital stamp by Rachelle Anne Miller. Definitely the Christmas or winter digital stamps, because I just need tons of Christmas cards. I never have enough. And so this was a lot of fun, just going through the site and picking out extra stamps that I really like and wanted to create with. And there was, well, a lot to choose from, and well, I am glad that I chose this one as well for this year because it's so adorable. Now, as you know me, I use Translucite Perfect coloring paper. It's a really good paper for alcohol markers. I use Copics. It works anytime. You can add several layers if you want to or need to get that blend that you want without the issue of bleeding. And if by some point your paper is sort of acting like it's oversaturated and it isn't taking on the ink anymore, just set it aside, use your heat gun, and you're ready to go again. Another good thing about this paper and using digital stamps is that this paper isn't too thick, so even a simple printer can really handle it, because I had a printer before the one that I'm using currently and it broke down on me, so I couldn't use it anymore. But that was just a really cheap printer and it worked. The paper isn't too thick, because sometimes you can have that, so that's handy as well. And then of course, as I'm using this digital stamp, which is called Santa Boy, if I maybe didn't say it ahead of time, I just had tons of fun. I use a laser printer in case you want to know, but as I'm saying, the printer that I had before, the cheaper one, was an inkjet and it worked fine for alcohol markers as well. I cannot say it personally for the watercoloring because I didn't try it with my older printer. Now I have a laser printer and that works for both of them. But I had a lot of people commenting that an inkjet printer, depending on the type you have, it can also work for watercoloring. Something that I suggest if you are loving Rachelle Anne Miller like I do and you want to check it out, there is a free digital stamp for you. It's an adorable one with a giraffe. I still have to color it. It's on my to-do list, my endless to-do list. But just in case you want to give it a go, the digital stamps, and see what your printer can handle or what medium that you can use depending on the printer that you're using at home, then definitely just use the free printable. Do it on the paper for your markers, do it on a paper that you watercolor on, and test it out. If it bleeds, then that's unfortunate. Maybe try it again by first heat setting it really well, or letting it sit for a while, for a day or so, and try it again maybe. And if it works, whatever you need, then you can open Paradise and go through all of the incredible digital stamps that are out there, and I know that you have a lot of fun. For the coloring of my image, as I quite often do, is keeping the coloring quite simple. With the amount of markers that I'm using, I like to have colors that return. So here I have a lot of reds. I will, however, put a hint of green in it, but every time that I'm using the green, it is the same marker combination, the same for the red color. And I think it's a way to keep it simple, or even an intricate image, you can sort of have a really simple feel to it because there is a lot of returning colors, and I personally really like that. You can also go way out there with lots and lots of colors, which is also incredible and gorgeous. So definitely do whatever you want to do, and have fun along the way. Here I'm onto the big bag with all of the gifts. And although the bag is quite big, I only used 4 markers for this combination. You can add way more or way less depending on what you prefer. By the way, if you like some of the combinations that I'm using today, then they are listed in the description box for you, easy to find, also on my blog post, depending on what you prefer checking out whenever you want to revisit maybe one of the combinations. So also, what you see me doing here is coloring from darkest to lightest marker. That's personally my preference when I'm using my Copic markers, but there are many ways to Copic color, and depending on your style or whatever you want to achieve as end result, there are other ways maybe to start coloring. But for me, going from darkest to lightest works the best. But you do you, and you do whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever gives you that result that you like. Another thing that I wanted to mention was that somebody really lovely said, I think it was on my YouTube channel, but for another card from with a digital stamp from Rachelle Anne Miller, was that she colored along with me, but that the result wasn't at all the same. Well, let me tell you a little secret. Well, maybe this you already knew, but I don't like repeating myself, so I never make the same card again, because repetition and all those things, it's kind of boring for me, so I try to always do something different. Another thing is, I tried in the past to create a card exactly the same markers, the same supplies, all those things. I never get the same result. So I would love to know if you're coloring with me, or if you're inspired and you like these markers and all those things. But know that even me, I made this card and I did this video. I cannot recreate my own cards. Not the coloring, not the layout, nothing. So I think it's funny, but it's definitely not you. It's just I think it's really hard to recreate a card, and probably also reason why I don't like doing that. But I love it to hear what you think, to know what you're doing, if you were inspired, and definitely make sure to tag Rachelle Anne Miller if you're using a product. If you were inspired by me, then definitely tag me, then I can see your gorgeous cards and creations. I would love to see it. So here onto the card. It's something that I really like doing, and from time to time you will definitely see me do this again and again. I also did it previously on a love themed card, this kind of accessory on one side of the card. I also like it in 2 strips, but just adding a little bit of gold glitter cardstock, then a bit of pattern paper where the color is returning that I used from my markers previously. It's something that I really think this gold strip is so fine, but it gives something extra to the card, and I really like that. Another thing is, I am really bad in trimming my paper right to size. So whenever I can, in this case, I tend to first add everything to my card base and then trim off the excess with my paper trimmer. This way I'm sure that it is the size of my card and I didn't trim it too short, like 1 millimeter. From time to time it happens. So that's why I just leave it hanging off and then I trim it to size. Like this. And then the sentiment, therefore I'm using the Christmas words #1 from Hello Bluebird. It's a really lovely basic, well, basic, it's a gorgeous script, and this one word will stand out, believe, merry, falala. Everyone knows what you're talking about. You can add a tiny sentiment if you want to, but personally I don't find it necessary, so I just added it with some liquid glue on top of my card. The paper, by the way, that I'm using is the Topaz Altenew glitter cardstock. It's from this pack that you can see on the right of the screen. It's a really handy pack. There are several pieces of paper. It's not a full-size paper, but it's perfect for card making. You don't have, well, you have several papers of one gold cardstock. It's really handy, and you can really mix and match if you want to. I always hold the several colors of gold from this pack to my image to see which one fits better, and then I use that one. Another thing that I'm adding today is the Simply White Nouveau Crystal Drops, and I'm using it sort of as a glaze. That's why I have this tiny needle thingy to sort of divide it over the area that I want it to be in, because it's not with a really fine tip, but this way with a needle you can definitely get it into those areas that you want to. And then that is my card. It's a really simple one. I only featured the image and then I added a sentiment, but I really like cards like this and I hope you like it too. I hope that you enjoyed the coloring because my videos are most of the time coloring. So that's it for today. That's my card. I hope that you like it. You can always give this video a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate it. I want to thank you all and I wish you an incredible day, and I'll be back soon. Bye!